What's up?
What's up,
homies?
everybody? It's good to see you. We're
Hey.
not seeing them, but it's good that you're seeing us.
It's good to see you.
Yeah, it's good to see
Leave
you.
a comment. We'll look at the photo.
Yeah, there you go.
Or if you got any videos, we'll look at your video.
Absolutely.
Leave a comment and make a video that's like, "Hi guys, good to see you too."
Oh, I'd love that. That would make us
I'd
very
happy.
happy.
I'd actually love that too. But what is up, everybody? This is the Tech Yeah Gaming Podcast After Show. I'm not even going to give it a number
Yeah, why bother?
because
We've lost track.
what we're going to do right now is talk about some of our favorite VR experiences.
Yeah, in this show, we talked a little bit about VR, the pros, the cons. We're both pro VR, but there's a long way to go.
I'm also con VR.
Yeah, which is fair.
I run cons using VR.
Yeah,
as
he's
the
very
conduit.
into the thick of it.
Yeah.
So what are some of your favorite VR experiences? And then to follow up, which I know you'll love talking about even more, what are some of your least favorite VR experiences that you've had? One or two?
My least favorite I can think of like right off the top of my head, but my favorite, I mean, I will say this. There's one thing about VR I've definitely noticed, and it's that despite all the flaws with VR,
Yeah,
it's very easy to get carried away and engrossed in VR.
it is. It's very good about tricking your brain, which
Yeah.
is almost more of how easy it is to trick our brains rather than how awesome VR is.
I will say, though, some of my favorite experiences with VR, I'll name two I think that were I had a lot of fun with. One was VR Chat.
Oh, see,
I
I
know-
haven't done that. I've always wanted to.
I know that game is kind of a meme,
Yeah.
right? But I got a couple friends, and we were all in VR Chat. We're just running around being weirdos. And I was in this like house, like in this chat room, this room, right? And there's like a table, and there's a bunch of people sitting around talking by a fireplace. And I kind of wander over, and they're all talking in Russian.
That's awesome.
And then they start playing the Russian national anthem.
Whoa.
It's very, very nationalistic.
Yeah, that's a great anthem.
And it was kind of scary, but also surreal and funny.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Right? Like it was like kind of cool. I was just like, it
Like,
really.
what were they talking
Yeah,
about?
it really felt like I just like wandered into the wrong place, you know. And
and
it
you have
was,
zero danger.
and there was zero real danger, even though it felt very dangerous.
That sounds cool. I wonder what they were doing.
Uh,
Could you imagine like a bunch of Americans talking, and then all of a sudden we're like, "Hey, we should put on the national anthem."
yeah, like what inspired, like, or a bunch of Americans are talking, and a Russian guy walks up and is like, "What's going on over here?"
And then we're like,
And we're
"Oh,
like-
that guy's Russian.
Put on the Stars and Stripes. We gotta get him.
Get him. Show him how it's done."
Show him what we do around here.
In VR chat.
Another one was I was playing. What is it called? Rec Room.
Oh yeah,
Have you played Rec Room?
I think so.
And I just like, I was just messing with it. My guy looked stupid. I was trying to
Party
do one of like
man.
the single player levels, and I couldn't beat it. And this kid, I don't know how old he was. I never met him, but he starts talking to me like, "Hey man," I'm like, "Hey, what's up?" And he's like, "Oh, like this thing's pretty hard. You want me to, help?" And I'm like, "Oh, sure." I sat and talked to that kid for like 2 hours.
Oh, that's cool.
Right, just like.
Just chilling.
Just chilling, just like playing laser tag and
Yeah.
like doing these missions. And I'm just like, this is like incredible. Like,
Yeah, that's so cool.
This is so crazy. So, and that was like super fun. And
Yeah.
it was like safe for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
totally.
It was very much like, oh, like these experiences can be very wholesome
Yeah.
and safe and exciting.
And like, yeah, the highfalutin thoughts are like VR can bring people together, and it can.
yeah, it totally
In the
can.
same way the internet can, for better or worse.
What are some of your favorite?
Well, I want to hear about your worst first.
You hear about my worst?
Yeah.
All right. I mean, this isn't even a question.
Oh, great.
Paranormal Activity VR.
Oh, interesting.
I hate scary things.
That's funny.
I hate them.
Yeah.
I hate them. I hate, in some ways, VR, right?
So the two,
And just like,
marry the two shall meet.
just being nauseous, and it, and it uses like the worst, like the motor controls aren't good,
Yeah.
right? And I'm just like, and plus we were streaming it, so it's like 105 degrees,
And they're like harassing you, I'm sure.
yeah,
and like
and they're
throwing stuff at
harassing
you.
while you're streaming, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I'm just sweating, like just sweat pouring down my face.
You're hot.
I'm
You're
hot,
uncomfortable. You're
I'm
sick.
nauseous, it's like that. Your mouth's starting to fill up with spit, like you might vomit at any moment, kind of nauseous, and you're just getting the shit scared out of you by everything, right? You're like hearing feet everywhere, doors slamming,
Yeah.
and it's just like, man, like fuck all this, right?
Yeah.
I hate this. I hate this so much.
Well, that's funny. I was actually going to mention Paranormal Activity as one of my more
your-
compelling.
Ugh.
And here's why. Well,
One
first,
of those people.
I'd say probably the most, and we talked about this on the show, I think, or maybe it was before. I played a game called Lone Echo on the Oculus. It might be on the Vive too, but it might be an Oculus exclusive. They have this cool multiplayer mode where you're like it's like almost like Tron, but the whole concept is you move. It's all 0G, so you move by pressing off of surfaces.
Everyone says it's like Ender's Game.
Yeah, I guess that makes more sense. I've never read or watched Ender's Game.
What?
Yeah, I know.
You're a writer.
Yeah, there's a lot of books I haven't read just because I write.
Continue.
Anyway, not only is the movement incredibly fun, and the tracking, while not perfect, works better than you'd think. The single player story was really fun. You play this robot, you're on this abandoned space station, there's only one other person, and you're like helping them, and it was so fun. And it was so fun that I played it, I reviewed it, so I was playing it for hours and hours. And it's the only game I played where when I took off the headset, I almost couldn't walk because my brain was absolutely convinced I was in zero gravity. That was so cool. I really enjoyed that. Cool. And then the only other reason I bring up Paranormal Activity is because it is scary, and it's not very fun because it is so scary. But I will say there's a scene where I think you have to like look under a chair or something.
Uh-huh.
And I had never been so utterly terrified to look under a chair in my life. Far more than any horror movie. The game's not even that good. It's not like it's some masterful. It's like it's a haunted house. But my brain was so convinced that I was there that experience alone was a level of terror I've never experienced before, even in the best horror movies.
In some ways, it's not even that scary.
Yeah, in some ways it's not. But you're
like, if it wasn't virtual reality.
That's what I'm saying. If it was a movie, you'd be like, this movie sucks. It's so cliche and lame.
Even if it was just like a regular control yourself game,
totally.
You'd be like, this is not.
But something about having to act like, I know there's something down there. I know there is. It's just like you feel if you were in a horror movie.
Yeah.
And that was so cool. My brain felt so tricked, and I loved that. So it's not that I enjoyed playing it. It's super scary. And even a shitty scary game is terrifying in VR.
That's
so it's a low bar. But still, I've never been that scared before in the game.
Yeah, and like jump scares in VR are so disorienting because you don't know, like,
yeah,
you have no real footing.
Yeah. But anyway, the point is, if you do like horror, VR horror is awesome.
Mm.
Even shitty VR horror is awesome.
So what's your worst?
That's our question. I've done a lot of just random ass VR games.
Yeah, there's a lot of garbage VR.
Yeah, just like any other game. There was one. There was like this shitty Duck Hunt clone. But you like go inside the TV, and it was not just bad. It wasn't just unfun to play. It was creepy, and not in a cool way. It was like, instead of a dog, like in, as like Duck Hunt, there's a dog, but for some reason it was a human in like a really shitty dog costume.
So when you put the carts into the...
Yeah.
I hear there's like...
I hated it.
I hear there's like a Frog Fractions kind of thing.
It was creepy as
hell. Like there's stuff in it. Like
probably.
Like there's like a meta game or whatever.
I think there maybe there was, and I just didn't get that far.
I can't remember what that's called.
But it really was unpleasant. And also it wasn't fun, and it made me sick. Games that make you sick are not good.
Yeah, it's funny. I was listening to a developer talk, and it was kind of like he was saying, VR nausea is really about bad development more than it is about bad VR. You know what I mean? It's like, if you make your game in a certain way, people will just get not like you can make better games.
Yeah.
Right? Like you can come up with better ideas and ways to not
for sure.
make people vomit in your game.
I think there's some people I do think there's some people are more prone to it than others. Just like some people get sick in airplanes and others don't.
Yeah.
I tend to have a very strong stomach with VR, but there's been a few times where I'm like, ugh.
I feel like the games that have always gotten me are games that are direct, like ports of non-VR games.
Like Fallout or Skyrim
or like
whatever.
Even like Drive Club.
Yeah.
Right? You'd think a driving game would be perfect for VR, but the problem is because it's a direct port, like as soon as you like hit a wall or something and the car immediately stops, your brain's just like it just immediately.
Which again speaks to the fact your brain thinks it's there, which is why it's cool. Even our rudimentary shitty VR we have, it's still your brain is totally tricked, and that is fun. Even that alone is just worth experiencing.
Yeah.
If you haven't, even shitty VR is fun.
But the tracking still sucks.
It does. Yeah. It has a long way to go.
And giant headsets suck too. But
yes.
Well, all right. I think that's good. Thank you guys for listening and watching us.
Yeah. Leave some comments if you have your thoughts on VR.
Or anything.
At all.
But mainly VR.
Yeah.
And hit the subscribe or watch the latest video over here. And follow us on Twitter, Facebook.
Yeah.
Take Out Podcast.
And check out the podcast.
Everywhere. Oh, and did I mention the contest on here?
You should. We got a contest.
Write me an email, takeyoutpodcast@gmail.com, or follow me on Twitter or Facebook and send me a message that says I win, and the emails I win, and I'll enter you in a raffle, and
with some cool prizes.
Yeah, the prizes.
You're not gonna get rich from them, but they are cool. They're unique, and
it's just a lot of cool, like like show giveaways and stuff that
Yeah.
I've collected.
Stuff that's not easy to find.
Not easy to find. I think you guys will like it.
It's curated by
Yours
this man,
truly.
but yours
Some
truly.
real favorites in there. Some real big favorites in
Yeah.
there.
So reach out, and we'd love to hear from you guys.
Awesome. Thank you guys. We love you.
Take care.
Bye.